Log recording 3:43 in the morning West Coast time. It's the 22nd of February 2024. We were in Johnson City, Roseman, California, perplexed. Turn on MSNBC and Morning Joe, and we've got people who actually had been shopping and perplexed about certain new technologies of keeping a shopping cart intact or around an area. Don't these people understand that shopping carts are mainstays regarding homeless people sometimes? And that new technologies are coming out there just to keep the companies want to keep their profits, by doing any that they can to protect their investments, which is the damn shopping cart. Shout out to Artist in Recovery this morning. No, I hadn't seen the video concerning a bad BAM. I hadn't, pal. Not yet, anyway. Oh, I just turned on MSNBC and listened to these guys chattering it up a storm, including one of their producers, the Morning Joe show. And Morning Joe producer hadn't been over to a brick and mortar store in a long while to see this new technology, and he's they're trying to make it light humor and light-hearted. I'm like, oh, give me a frickin' break. Shopping carts had been the mainstay of homeless people trying to get their stuff secured or not. Some actually get things bagged up, try to drag the bag around if they can, double, triple if they can. Shopping carts would have been a hell of a lot easier to push around because you can push your home in there literally. Tents, blankets, whatever they needed. And if you didn't have the security devices on them, those things may add up in the profit margin slightly to the stores, but the stores depend upon those shopping carts for other customers to use. But they're needed. So, seeing this episode coming out, I'm like, you guys have lost your minds this morning. I probably am. I know I am. Okay. So, while they're talking about the political crap, I'm letting them do and say whatever they got going on. I'll probably hear later about it, one way or another. So, I'm not alive or awake yet. I'm still waking up right now, as it is. I was reminded of past friends and family, the memories that clicked in that I can no longer find them if they're still alive or dead. I know one particular family member and her family, but others, not so much. Uh, I'm doing audio recordings on it just to see if I can get the stuff out. But I'll tell you something, Daryl. It's you lose family and friends that way, and have them drift out of your lives. It hurts like a son of a bitch. I'll tell you that much. But no, I hadn't seen your video concerning about Bam Margera or Sean Weiss. I hadn't. Said before, I just got up. Okay, we're gonna have to do this in chunks on this one here, pal. I'm watching your video while commenting it. I hadn't heard anything concerning about the Mighty Ducks child actor Sean Weiss. I hadn't heard too much about. Actually, I hadn't heard anything about him. He's kept off the radar, so I hadn't kept track of the gentleman here. But I'm glad he's talking about his addiction. It's necessary for us to keep understanding that the damn disease out there is going to be killing us one way or another. And unfortunately, when it comes down for the damn disease, we're already screwed up anyway before it takes its full effect on us and makes our life a living hell. It also deals with alcoholics as well, and food, and anything else that a damn disease decides to thrash at us. Now, in response to if the comments that you had a problem with, yeah, there's going to be a lot of sycophants out there who are going to be just saying, "Well, is there anything else we need to draw upon you?" They're like vampires, dude. They're like vampires. They want to suck out the life of everything else. But here's the thing: there's a lot of people out there that hadn't commented, probably because they have been watching you from afar and not quite sure how to react to you. It's a possibility because I know there's people out there doing the same damn thing to me too. I get a very few comments if I can, or if I actually do get them on my own channel. But I also talk politics as well. I speak politics. Doesn't make me an expert. No, but it just puts me on a level where I'm saying, okay, I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm trying to understand where your mentality is coming from, and unfortunately, every time I keep trying to do the research, I know that the algorithms out there, it's not a conspiracy crap. It's just how I'm getting all these damn feeds left and right. If I happen to go to Facebook, I've got the algorithms in Facebook forcing me into more and more grieving situations. Not much happiness, and if I can get to a happiness posting, I'll share that stuff if I can. Cartoons, I like copying and saving them. I like reading them. Um, if there's anything concerning about travel, I'll post that too. If there's anything about food, I'll travel. I need something to balance out all those grieving things I've got going and hitting me on a constant basis. I know I deal with grieving, and I talk with a few people when I can, but I'm seeing so much of the grieving crap on Facebook, it's not even funny. I like to stay the hell away from it because it also depresses the living crap out of me. And much the same thing like politics, because I've also gotten that way too. I had to limit my exposures and blocked a lot of things and canceled out a lot of things so I don't get as much politics on Facebook. But when it comes down for YouTube, oh my God, it's a plethora of it. Oh, it's an abundance of the crap I'm dealing with. And much like you like to get something on there and show people airy. Well, I know, not right now. I think you were looking for the immediate results. Sometimes it takes time. You said you were showing a book collection. Well, shit. I've been showing my own damn garbage out here too. But I've got another spare room that is full of paperbacks, not to mention hardcovers, various sorts, from school to reading pleasure, and I don't have enough room in here. These are grab and go bags I've got, just in case. In case there's going to be a situation I'm going to need to get the hell out of here. I need to get my personal, my brother's stuff ready to go, just in case. You never know. I used to have this as books. I mean, this was an old bookcase for about 100 years old. We used to fill it up with video cassettes when we actually had them back then, the VHS. Before that, it was just putting in books, paperbacks, all over the damn place. So yeah, I talk. I may not get any hits on some of the other videos, but that's all right. I'm not going to stress over the damn shit. You, however, so let's see what else is going on in your life in the video. Well, okay, got through most of it already. I wasn't paying attention to the stars because they got their own lives, and I'm not a gossip monger, and I'm not a star follower. I mean, I try not to follow people like that because it's just not relevant to my life. In regards to recovery, I still have links to other people I've been with meetings at, meetings too, and seen these people going through their lives. And sometimes it sucks that I don't get any feedback from them, especially with the shit I'm going through. And even if I happen to say what the hell I'm going through or stressing out like crazy, it's crickets out there. I'll tell you one thing, Daryl. I probably talked about this one here, so I'll talk about it again. Sometimes when I'm really into that deep dark hole, I don't get these guys on me because if I am not there physically in their face, apparently, they just don't give a shit anymore. I post on Facebook a great deal about the things I feel about. And mostly it's about grieving, and that's the algorithms that really got to me on that one there. But I talk about it in ways or things like that. Because I know one of these here days that when I start going into silent mode on Facebook, they're not going to care as much. They're not going to care as much. There's a few people that follow me on YouTube, but there's also a very select few that are actually following me on Facebook as well. And what they're doing for some of those select, I'm trying to keep track of their lives. They don't post as much except for some adventures that they're going through. They're having fun about it. But I guess I am considered black sheep in a way. I am too depressing for them because I am so dark and dismal in my damn grieving left and right. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with a person that dark and dismal in there. It's like, who would be your favorite superhero character? Superman or Batman? A lot of people would go, Superman, because he's got all these damn powers. No, you gotta look at it more harder than that. And then you look at Batman. Oh, he's just immortal, but he's dealing with a hell of a lot more on his shoulders than you realize that he's battling through. But nobody likes him. They like him because he's the Dark Knight. He likes to get things done, likes to punish sometimes. He's a vigilante. He's outside the system. He's dark and moody. He's dark and moody because that's how he was growing up as he wants to be the Dark Knight of Gotham, so he's going to be doing what he can for it. Are you considered Superman trying to be bright and cheerful, but also you got to balance the weight of the world, and just because you may be near invulnerable, you think, okay, well, I can deal with the world because I'm Superman. I got this ego here. Everything's bright and sunny. I'll try this one. If you were actually able to see some of the cartoon clips on YouTube, dude, and you see Batman, the animated series, look at the lighting structure. It was said regarding the Batman series that it was dark canvas that they actually had and had to paint in the shades, the lighter shades, to get that tone, to get that reflection. Dark, moody, depressing kind of thing. And for some of those people who are into the Dark Knight situation, that's the kind of personality you're looking at. They want justice. They want vengeance. They want. Either be by the criminal side or by Batman's way of doing things, or viewpoint, or how it feels, or how it makes you feel at this point over here when you see a dark and dismal comic. Compared to Superman, which is light, airy, hopeful, future bright, and they still getting their ass kicked left and right in this town. But it's still light and airy and hate. What does this mean for your videos? You're not the Dark Knight. You're almost a balance, but you're not quite the Dark Knight situation. I'm the Dark Knight. I'm dark. I'm moody. I'm intelligent. Hides in a bat cave. Well, I don't have any bats. I got a roach cave. How about that one? Hello. Activity outside, and I'm staying inside. We got the trampling of people up and down the stairs this morning. Okay, you're talking about recovery, and you get a few people left and right talking about recovery or trying to understand recovery left and right. And you're right, there are sycophants out there who like miserable things. They want to feel more miserable, want to feel hope at this point over here. So what you try to do is feed them hope. I'm telling stories. I'm a storyteller. I tell about my life, what I observe, what I'm going through. I use these channels. My particular channel, anyway, is a lifeboat. So in the event I'm going to pass over or keel over, I'm not forgotten as much. It's going to exist in the zeros and ones out there to a point, and after that, poof, it's gone. But if there was anything else left out there for people to understand and learn, and maybe if I actually had family and friends pulling up these channels and wondering what the hell happened, it's a breadcrumb trail. Think about that one. I'm not thinking about the commercialism. I'm thinking about longevity. I'm trying to think about if there's going to be a way for me to jog my memory one way or another. If I happen to get into that particular position of saying that's it with life, I'm pulling the plug, I'm I'm done with it, and I'm no longer there. Hopefully, they can see a progression and understand what was going on days leading up to that event, where there was nothing, when there was silence. So I'm not looking about the commercialism. I'm not looking about people following me and trying to be sycophants at this point, or trying to understand what was going on with me, or just saying, "Oh, I like this guy's voice or his opinions at this." Well, okay, I can be that way. There's other people out there I listen to. I appreciate their opinions from time to time, and I still have to learn what's out there. Doesn't scare me as much. I'm just trying to be a little bit more attuned to a few other things, so I don't worry about that. Politics is also messy as hell. Politics these days has gotten more and more darker. We're more like Gotham out there than we are Metropolis. So you're talking about other people in recovery that you're discovering, including your favorite topic of how they're struggling and how they're surviving and how they're living like you. So you are the Superman of sorts. I mean, everybody's supposed to be loving Superman, but the thing, would you have to, a suggestion, a suggestion only to you. Don't worry about the damn likes. Don't worry about the followers that you're not hearing from. Think of it this way: the people who aren't responding to you down the road, when they come across your messages, your tapings, how are they going to receive it? How are they going to understand it? And when they do, your legacy lives on. There'll be other sycophants out there who want the negative reaction to suck it out of you. They're going to try sucking out any kind of hopeful messages out there. And politics right now has become so damn polluted, it's not even funny. When we start having people arguing and trying to find ways of knocking each other's heads off just because we got our own opinions that don't match up the other hype of the other guy, and we got to say, well, we're better than you. No, we're better than you. No, blah, 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 blah. And it's not the verbal logger jams we're going into, it's the physical. So naturally, it's a war situation. And I'm using the trigger words right now will probably piss off the community guidelines on Google and also on YouTube because I am not playing fair. But the thing is, they don't play fair either. We look at it from them not getting punished, but we're getting punished. Yeah. And you think, that's not fair. I said, no, that's how it is. But why would I say that? Because you're not seeing it. You got to go back to the comics again. You got to go back to the stories. You got to go back to where you're seeing the heroes and anti-heroes having their issues. How are they dealing with it? How they're responding to it? How the world is reacting or the universe is reacting to them, against them, for them. Context, perspective. Sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes we are sacrificial lambs for the greater good, I think. But we live our life to the best we can. We live our lives in the hopes that maybe others can look at our example and say, I like what he's doing. I think I'll do that. Or maybe you're just going to be one of those kind of sycophants that's saying, I don't like him. Let's make my opinion more public than him. My ego will match his. My ego will surpass him. I am ego. He is just nothing. So you're talking about Bamagira. You're keeping his name alive in a legacy. You're concerned for him. You're talking about his legacy going on. He will live on. Even if the public in certain aspects won't know who the hell Bamagira is, you know who he is. You're talking about him. You are being a storyteller. You're telling a story, dude. You're becoming like me. Dark and broody sometimes. But maybe dark and broody at times. And then you're raising up the issue of light, of recovery, of hope. So, and I'll talk to you later, pal.